Hello everyone, welcome again to my channel. If this is your first time of joining us, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. My name is Stella and I am a personal and business credit coach at Core Belief. I provide DIY services on how you can maintain a good credit, build your credit score and improve on your credit score, so that way you can get to that financial freedom that you want to get to. And I also do provide financial literacy as well. A good credit, a healthy credit, is a healthy financial management. I am continuing on the part 2 on what impacts your credit score. So in the part 1, I kind of like ran through a little bit of things that do impact your credit score, such as high balances, minimal credit rating, late payments, being a co-signer. So those are the things that I talked about in the part 1. And in the part 2, we're also going to be talking about what impacts your credit score, but I will be talking more on bankruptcy, consumer proposal, collection items, legal judgment. Okay, all right. What is bankruptcy? Just before I go into that, I just want to say this out there. For anyone who is going through that financial difficulty, financial stress at this time, this video is not to make you feel less of yourself, but it's actually meant to be like a motivator, so that way you can start rebuilding your credit history. And I do believe that anyone out there going through that financial situation right now that is causing so much stress or distress to them, I do believe that you will get out of it for sure, as long as you're determined and you have that financial management. All right, so I'm going to be talking about the first one will be on bankruptcy. I'm not going to go into so much details about what it is, what is bankruptcy, or what is a consumer proposal. There are so many videos out there that do talk about what it is. You can get more information on Google as well. So just like a general information, bankruptcy is a legal process where an individual or a business goes through that process when they cannot actually manage their finances and they're going through financial difficulty. So it's all about meeting with your negotiators and with your creditors and negotiating on how you can pay off those debts. Or sometimes bankruptcy might actually lead to your assets being used to pay off the debt, or it's just going to be like a total write-off of the debt as well. Now, how does bankruptcy impact on your credit score? Bankruptcy stays on your credit rating for up to 7 years, depending on the credit bureau, either Equifax or TransUnion. So it stays on your credit rating for up to 7 years, and that is always like a red flag. So when you want to do any application and there's a bankruptcy showing on it, your lender or financial institution will always ask the question, what happened? They want to know what happened and what steps that you have taken in rebuilding your credit reports as well. So that's the way a bankruptcy can actually impact on your credit score. It brings down the numbers, but like I did say at the beginning of the video, with a proper financial management, you can actually build back your credit score. Now, the second thing that impacts on your credit score would be consumer proposal. So same as a bankruptcy, it's a legal process for repayment of your debts. The good side of the consumer proposal is that you are renegotiating those debts. So it's more like, just in a simple term, it's more like to your lenders, like, hey lenders, I'm not able to make this payment, I do owe XYZ amount, and you want to negotiate and say, okay, rather than you as a lender losing out on this entire balance, I can pay XYZ amount and the rest could be written off or something. But usually there's like a consumer proposal agency that you go through to renegotiate this debt. Like I said, I'm not going to go into so much details about that. Now, a consumer proposal and a bankruptcy, they do impact on your credit score. A consumer proposal stays on your credit score for up to 3 years, or a little bit more depending on the credit bureau and depending on when it was discharged as well. So depending on when both of them were discharged, they can stay, like bankruptcy can stay up to 7 years and consumer proposal could stay up to 3 years or a little bit more on it. And same way as a bankruptcy, consumer proposal will impact on your credit score. It brings down your numbers. It shows up because it has, when you file for consumer proposal, it has to be reported to the credit bureaus that you have filed for consumer proposals. So whenever you have to do an application, the way that they do impact is you might have to get high interest rates on whatever you're applying for. Majority of the time you are declined. Sometimes you're expected to have a discharge before you can actually get approved for anything. So those are the ways that it impacts on your credit score. Now, another one is a legal judgment. So a legal judgment is a legal proceeding, is a court order that the court has ordered against you or against your business. Whenever there's a court order, it automatically reports to the credit bureau, and that would show on your credit reports as well. Now, a legal judgment, the impact it has is that most lenders, depending on what it's about, if it's a criminal legal judgment, in a situation maybe you have to go to prison or something like that, it's really hard. Sometimes it's impossible to actually qualify for anything because the lenders want to know, like, what's the next step after the legal judgment. If it is a legal judgment or a court order where you're going to be taking on some financial obligations, such as maybe paying alimony or child support, that would also be taken into consideration. So most times lenders will be like, hey, why don't you wait until your court process is over, and that way it can give like a clearer picture on what exactly is the outcome of the legal proceedings or the legal judgments, and that would help in their decision making as well. Because if you're going to be assuming liabilities, such as, like I did mention, maybe paying alimony, or you're expected to pay a certain amount to somebody that you owe, or you're paying child support, that would also be factored into your income to debt ratio as well. So those are the ways that legal judgment impacts on your credit score and your applications. However, having a consumer proposal, bankruptcy, or legal judgment is not the end of the world. With a proper financial management, you can actually build back your credit score, and you can build back your credit rating. Another thing that will impact on your credit score is collection items. So what are collection items? Collection items are items that have gone through the collection agency. And when I say items, I'm talking about your credit products, such as your credit cards or loans or mortgage. And for any item, any credit product to actually go to the collection agencies, it means that you have defaulted in repaying those items multiple times. So when you have defaulted in repaying the items, then at that point in time it goes into collections. Now, I've seen situations where just a little bit a minor thing is what goes to collections. For example, maybe the annual fee on your credit card, something minimal, like maybe $2 or something like that, or maybe a payment that you've actually paid off your credit card, but there was a payment that went through and you didn't remember or didn't think about it, and then you just forget about making the payment, and that will go into collections as well. So there are just different things that can actually make a credit product go into collections. One would be, like I did mention, basically it's when you default in your payment over time, then it goes into collections. Like I did say, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of what the whole collection process is, or bankruptcy process, or anything like that. We're just kind of like touching on the things that will impact on your credit score. Now, a collection item will impact on your credit score because just like a bankruptcy on consumer proposal or legal judgment, it reports to the credit bureau. And when it reports to the credit bureau, it has to stay on your credit report until it's either being paid off or cleared out. So I did mention in one of my videos earlier that one person who is responsible to checking your credit reports is you. So you have to get into the habit of, even if it's once in a year, just go through your credit report to make sure that everything is okay. If there's anything in collections that you're not aware about, you can reach out to the credit bureau, you can reach out to the corporation or the institution or the lender that reported that item, and just to get clarity on, hey, what's going on here. And anything could go into collection, even your unpaid medical bills, your unpaid dental bill, your parking ticket, even your unpaid library fees as well. Like, so many situations, so many things that could actually lead to collection. So that's why it's good to check your credit report once in a while, so that way you can make sure that everything is okay. And same thing with the collection items, like your consumer proposal or bankruptcy or late payments or anything. Your lenders will want to know why, what happened, why did this item go to collection. It kind of like speaks a little bit about you. If there are multiple collection items, then that kind of just tells them out there that, hey, this person is in the habit of not paying back their debt and we don't want to lend to this person. So you have to make sure that anything in collections is dealt with. If you want to dispute it, that's fine. If you want to pay it off, that's okay as well. But just make sure that it's something that is being dealt with, so that it's not impacting on your credit score. Now, like I did say, having these items on your credit score is not the end of the world. With proper and good financial management, you can actually build back your credit score. You can have these items taken care of or dealt with, and you can just have that financial freedom that you want to do. How can you have a proper financial management if you file for bankruptcy or consumer proposal, or there's a legal judgment or collection items, and you're not able to qualify for anything? One big step would be to start by getting a simple secured credit card. So a secured credit card is you putting ahead upfront the cash equivalent of the limits that you're requesting for. So there are so many institutions that actually help in re-establishing credit history. You can go on Google and just search for one close to you. So once you start with a simple credit card, a secured credit card, it can help in re-establishing your credit history. And that way, if you want to apply for anything in the future, your lenders can see that, okay, despite the fact that this happened, this person has taken steps in rebuilding their credit history. Now, I see a lot of people will actually, maybe they filed for consumer proposal or whatever it is, they kind of like paid off, work hard, pay it off, take care of it. However, they don't re-establish the credit history. Most lenders want to see that, okay, after this thing happened, what did you do to put yourself back in a good credit financial management? So they want to see that re-established credit history. So that is why the first step would be to try to get a secured credit card. If you're lucky enough to get someone who might want to co-sign for you, that's awesome as well. So you could, if you don't qualify for it, you can get like a co-signer to come on board. But in one of my videos, I did mention the impact of co-signing. So anyone out there, before you take that decision about co-signing for a friend or whoever you want to co-sign for, please read the fine print, ask your financial advisors what they think about it, read up about it, know the implication that it's going to have on you, because like I did mention, if the person says, I don't want to pay anymore, that has an impact on you. So always ask those questions, the why behind the why, before you take on that decision of co-signing for someone. So in ways, there's just so many ways that you can actually start rebuilding your credit history. Getting a secured credit card, getting your, if you're renting, you can also ask your landlord to probably report your rent, to like your payments, to the credit bureau as well. So that way it's also showing that you're making payments towards something. Or you could also get yourself, you could use one of those cell phone providers or internet or cable providers that do report to the credit bureau, and that way you are also re-establishing your credit history. But the main thing is, even when these things happen, take that disciplined financial step, rebuild your credit history, pay those items off. Is it going to be an easy journey? The answer is definitely no. But with consistency, with hard work, you will get to that financial freedom that you want to get to. If you did like this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.